Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Swaha. 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 Once again, let us settle down, recollect our thoughts, recollect the kindness of the triple jewels, and with a full gratitude in heart, let us all place our palms together to request Geshe to give teaching according to the well wishes and capacities of the students. Geshe, kindly give us the teaching.
Good morning, all of you. And I'm quite impressed by the size of the channel for this morning session. And I know that some of you stay quite far away from the venue, and you managed to come. You made your time to come, and that's truly a great inspiration for all of us. And yes, where someone has health issues, and truly severe health issues, and you need to take more rest. I would say only those who have health issues, who have the insomnia problem, no sleep problem, so forth, then it will be good for you to take rest in the morning. Otherwise, for others like myself, if you're sleeping for like 8 hours a day, and here now you get maybe like only 6 hours, sometimes only 5 hours. If you're physically fit and fine, I would say that is worth it to come in the morning to practice, because this is just like coming to a treasure island. You say, okay, I'm now tired from the journey to the treasure island, and then you keep sleeping, and the time to leave, you don't get anything. So this huge, massive treasure island of virtues, and to be very honest, I would say all the painful tears of samsara is all because of, our not getting the opportunity to encounter with such powerful virtues. And even if we do encounter, we did not value these. And then even if we value these, somehow the opportunities for us to engage in it vigorously did not happen. So now is a great opportunity. Really speaking, we see that it's NMC 1 and NMC 2, and others can just see them, what the seniors are doing. You can see that, and from there you'll be inspired. So, And this place is really energized with so many the great masters, scholars, young scholars, and the seniors who generated the bodhicitta, who realized emptiness. And once in a while, when you go out, you may see, someone who's very easygoing, but the really, really, really good ones. It doesn't mean that those who are out, they're not good ones, but the many of the good ones, you never see them. You just see them inside their own rooms, contemplating, meditating on emptiness, teaching, then meditating, realizing the emptiness of bodhicitta and so forth. So this place is so, so, so holy. I would say that this is truly a second Nalanda, the erstwhile Nalanda. So this is the key, erstwhile Nalanda, which existed before 13th century AD in Bihar. And then in the first century AD, Arya Nagarjuna was there, Bodhisattva Aryadeva was there, and Acharya Chandragiri was there. All these great teachers whose the text which we are studying and whose the text is being cited in this the insight chapter which we are studying here by Lama Tsongkhapa. So all these teachers actually happened there. So likewise, this is a place where all the great teachers of the past and the present is there, and the tradition, a living tradition, is still what you see here. So this is so the precious opportunity for us, and we never know whether we'll get the second chance like this, studying extremely precious text just for 10. You are here, we are all here just for like 10-12 days, and then meanwhile we are studying this extremely precious text, unfolding which alone is seen to help us stop the painful tears, the ignorance and painful tears of samsara for you and for your family members and for all the sentient beings in this life, in the future lives till Buddhahood. So therefore, so where you have health issues, I would say serious health issues like insomnia problem and so forth, then you might have to consider taking more rest. And this one part, and given that this is the first day of the morning session, I would say that that this retreat is going to be quite intense. So therefore, don't spend much time gossiping, and I would say going around while the teaching is happening. Give yourself more time to contemplate, rest, and whatever little free time that you get, you try to take rest, because your mind has to work very differently in these 10 days. We have never used our brain like this before. So you may say, I didn't do anything, but you may, at the end of the day, you may feel so tired because the brain is tired, your mind is tired, because the thought processes which we're going to learn. In fact, when I was preparing this text, Tibetan, English, checking the translation, and then with this complex subject, how to make it easy. I was thinking about it. Sometimes the instant in my mind, things, how to explain this, how to explain this technical aspects, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. No need to be afraid of. Just the thing is that take it as a great opportunity that, okay, these are very technical. I didn't know that such technical things can be in the so-called religion, so-called philosophy. So this is really technical. You'll feel it that way, and that the end. Never give up. Each one of us, we have the Buddha nature. Don't underestimate your potential. We all have the Buddha nature, and once these key points are unraveled, you get to a very different domain of reality, and where you start to see things very differently, and then you'll realize within different practices, for example, like say in what way the water will help us to rejuvenate us, in what way the food will help us, in what way the carbohydrates help us, in what way the proteins help us. So you will see that they distinct the functions, and likewise with this sophistication. Oh, these are very sophisticated concepts. Hello, 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 hello. Woman there. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hello, 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 hello. Keep checking. Keep checking at what range this can be heard. Okay. So what I'm saying is that it's very important for us. So what we discussed at the yesterday, the 5 ways by which to manage emotions. And of course, it's not the exhaustive list. One is single-pointed meditation, shamatha, any form of shamatha meditation, breathing, sensations, image of the Buddha, mind, and so forth. One. Then number 2, isolate yourself from the triggers of the afflictions. Try to discipline yourself, staying away from the triggers of afflictions. Number 2. Then number 3 is running. Number 3 is compassion. Number 3 is compassion, where cultivate compassion, and then you start to see that small things, wrong things happening around here will not irritate you. And instead, they can become a great source of the compassion for you. They can trigger compassion within you, which otherwise would trigger anger, irritation, agitation, and then how stupid you are. How this kind of thoughts will be transformed to see that I would behave the same way, the way you are doing now, if I did not get the opportunity. You will behave the same way that I will do if you get the opportunity. So that way you will learn how to empathize. And then the wisdom of emptiness, to see that the total control is in your own hand. Total control. That you see the emptiness, and then all they do, like the example metaphor, the example given, all thousands of extremely complicated people around you, and suddenly they disappeared. You feel so relaxed. So this is how you would feel if you realize emptiness. This is how you manage your emotions. And finally, and the emptiness, all these, what I explained earlier, the 4 points, all put together, then you become very powerful. The power gets to such height that you're able to manage your the destructive emotions, where you can utilize them as your servants. So that's a very high level of practice. So the point is that we need to have all these items, all these the techniques of managing emotions, and then you will realize that so this is the Nalanda tradition. This whole set of teachings taught by the Buddha, and then you go anywhere. People do mindfulness meditation, people do this kind of meditation, that meditation, awareness meditation, so forth. You say, okay, this fits into this, that fits into this. You can see everything in proper sequence, and where you become very confident. So, for that matter, the morning practice, particularly why we are doing this, is that in fact our organizers, they suggested we can skip the morning practice for the reason that people stay far away from the venue, and it can be a little complicated. So, and then also text is very sophisticated, that you may feel very exhausted at the end of the day. So, but I said, no, let's take it just 10 days. Let's struggle. Let's put effort in this direction. The 10 days, 12 days is fine. But as I said earlier, there could be exceptions for some who truly require, who are on heavy medication, or who cannot sleep, and that you may require more sleep. I would say that you are exception, so you can take a rest, because that the study itself is very sophisticated, and you'll feel yourself tired, fatigued in a very different way. So keeping this in mind, we have the mornings to conserve my energy. We requested some of the participants to lead the prayers, and during the Bodhicitta part, take the aspirin Bodhicitta part, that I will take over. Otherwise, today we have Ajikasala, one of the organizers, will lead the prayer, and setting proper meditation is very important. Okay. The three things to remember: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. And what we're doing here is primarily for us to learn how to design your own practice. Let me repeat it. Why we in the mornings we come here for the practice is to learn how to design your own daily practice based on what we're doing here. So many people, I know that many of you, after attending any of the retreats, then you leave and then you continue this legacy of the morning practice in your own life. And I know some of you who are doing this. This is amazing. I truly, truly appreciate. And I would say that amongst the seniors, so the seniors, particularly NMC1 and then NMC2, I would suggest that if you can do something like this, you are spending like 6 years in this study, and which means that you are committed. So if you can take away from this retreat the morning practice as your the personal practice, then the others will be inspired. Others can easily be inspired because they see that it's not just somebody who is like dictating, who's like forcing them. No, you look at this, these are my seniors, and they are so amazing, very calm, stable, composed, and what they're doing, they are serious into the studies and their practice. We can see the proof in the existence. They're so calm, composed, full of compassion. So seniors should be role models. And I would say that given that this is a very rare occasion for us, very precious, very rare occasions, and for me to be with all of you in this very holy place, with this holiness here, with my teacher here, I'm not too sure whether we'll ever get this chance ever again. As such, why not we take this opportunity for us to learn how to design a practice, and this should be like the benchmark or the hallmark of your existence, that throughout your life, that okay, now I've seen what the Nalanda tradition is, and then you carry this in a theory plus practice, not just theory all the time. Theory plus practice. Practice without the theory, practice is very shallow. So with theory without the practice, it is so dry. So this must go hand in hand. The morning part before the practice and the purpose. Okay. So having said this, as I give the instructions, just don't think that this is a part of ritual. It's not a ritual here. This is what we are putting effort. You're putting effort. I'm putting effort. We're all putting effort to learn from this how to design your own daily practice. So with this mind, all the instructions that I'm giving, make sure that you try to remember them. And if you don't remember each one of them, don't worry. We have the recording, and later just at least have the commitment that this recording of the practice, morning practice, is something which I will base on to design my own practice. So give with this mind 3 points to remember: refuge field, Bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. And the refuge field, what to visualize, how to visualize. Visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened masters, Hare Manjushri, Hare Balukiteshvara, Hare Tara, Hare Maitreya, Hare Vajrapani, and so forth, Hare Nagarjuna, and all these enlightened teachers, Bodhisattva, Hare Deva, Acharya Buddhapalita, Acharya Nagabodhi, Acharya Chandrakirti, Acharya Bhaviveka, Bodhisattva Chandrakshita, Bodhisattva Shanti Deva, Acharya Kamalashila, and so forth. Then On the other hand, we have Arya Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu, Acharya Dignaga, Acharya Dharmakirti, and so forth. And then in the 11th century, Lama Selingpa from Indonesia, Lama Adishadipur Shri Kyana, Tumdi Gyojune, and Guru Padma Sambhava, and all the great teachers of the Nyingma tradition, and the great adept, Staraha, and the great teacher Lama Tilupa, Lama Narupa, Lama Marpa, Chizumila, Chizukambupa, and all the lineage masters of the Akaju tradition, Sajin Kuyingbo, and all the Sakya lineage masters, and the Lama Tsongkhapa, Gyaltsar Kidurimshe, and all the Gelug tradition masters, and the great teachers of the Theravada Buddhism, great teachers of the Chinese Buddhism, great teachers of all the traditions in the world, Buddhist traditions of the world, and how you visualize them, that they are like very kind and loving parents, and you are a very young, tender little girl or little boy, and they look upon you with so much love and affection. To see that, like to a very sensible parents, to see that the child is in the hands of extremely compassionate and good companions, the mother will be extremely happy, and this is what we need to visualize for the refuge field. And Dorji the field, visualize your two parents and all of them members, including children and all other dear sentient beings. Again, what to visualize and how to visualize. And how to visualize is that all these are like your children. And is a matter of whether or not we identify them. In actuality, they are like your own children. Where you put it from the point of view of your Buddha nature, they are like your children. So where you are so loving and so compassionate, embracing. And the purpose of the practice together here is to awaken the Buddha nature. And to awaken the Buddha nature, we need to know why this Buddha nature is not manifest at the moment. Is because that this is tainted by the mental defilements. And the mental defilements are of two kinds: afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. And afflictive obscurations, the presence of this stops us from experiencing fearlessness, or technically referred to as nirvana. And the cognitive obscurations, they stop us from attaining to the infinite ease and infinite happiness, which is technically known as Buddhahood. And what constitutes afflictive obscurations is contaminant karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds, and all somehow connected with the self-grasping ignorance. And the cognitive obscurations, subtle stains of these afflictive obscurations. And how to get rid of these defilements. So for this, we need to know the nature of the defilements, and we know that at the base of all these defilements, with the afflictive or cognitive obscurations, there's either the mistaken appearance or mistaken apprehension, and this is to be eradicated. For that, mistaken appearance, mistaken apprehension with respect to the objective reality. So the counterforce must be the wisdom of emptiness, who see the reality that they're all empty of intrinsic reality, which would be like waking up from the sleep of ignorance, sleep from the nightmare, to discover that whatever happened in the dream was all purely subjective, empty of objective reality. So, with this in mind, the wisdom, the remedy, and to what extent this will cut the afflictive obscurations, the cognitive obscurations, is determined by what motivation drives this wisdom. And the motivation of two kinds: motivation of the renunciation. If it's just with the motivation of renunciation, it'll help you to get maximum. It'll help you to get rid of the self-grasping ignorance, thus be freed of samsara. All the tears of samsara will stop, but the ease may not expand to infinity. So for that purpose, for the benefit of all the beings, the experience of the bodhicitta, that's the driving force, is required. So with this mind, with the desire to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings, which is marked as bodhicitta, then we will follow this practice as Ajikasana leads. Yes.
Page number 3. We'll recite our morning preliminary prayers by mentally invoking the profound meanings and associated experiences. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all erroneous views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Sangye chuda tsoge chonam la chanju bhardo dane gyabsu che dagi chiso kibe chonam ki dola pinje sangye dubar sho. Sangye chuda tsoge chonam la chanju bhardo dane gyabsu che dagi chiso kibe chonam ki dola pinje sangye dubar sho. Sangye chudan soge chonam la chanju pardo dani gyapsu che dagi chiso kibe sonam ki dola pinje sangye dubar sho. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the host of bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, the knowers of all, which leads the hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, the knowers of paths, which causes with altruism to help migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and omniscience, through the possession of which helps the Buddhas expound a variety of teachings endowed with complete aspects of subjects. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forward noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetam tesham tathagato havadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetam tesham tathagato havadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetam tesham tathagato havatat tesham chayo nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashamanaye Swaha. Meaning of the dependent origination mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Whatever is the sensation of these causes is taught thus by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite, such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of 3 times, I pay obeisance. The 4 seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash away the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries with his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to the samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, I invite all sentient beings as my guests. I will engage in the appealing deeds of excellence of enlightenment. May I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Page 15. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the Tathagata, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and the human beings to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. I prostrate to the Buddha, the chief of bipeds. I prostrate to the Dharma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the supreme one. To all 3, I always prostrate with reverence. With extreme devotion do I always prostrate to all who are worthy of prostrations. Through surrendering my body's numbering particles that constitute all realms, do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning or cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the state of omniscience, subdue the falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 31, Heart Sutra.
Okay, as a result, Heart Sutra, most you already know, but a quick reminder for us, with the background information that in Rajgir, on the Vulture's Peak, where the Buddha Shakyamuni presided over the gathering and surrounded by all the monastics and the bodhisattvas and the lay, the audience, the people, and Avalokiteshvara on one side of the Buddha, and Shariputra on the other side. And the Buddha went into samadhi, deep meditation on emptiness. And then meanwhile, when you become Buddha, anyone becomes a Buddha, you have direct access to the true truth simultaneously. So while you are deep into samadhi, simultaneously you have direct access to the conventional realities also. So with this in mind, so deep inside the samadhi of the wisdom of emptiness, simultaneously blessed and inspired the Shariputra to stand up to ask question to Avalokiteshvara. So with this inspiration and blessings, Shariputra stood up to make prostrations to the Buddha, then turned to Avalokiteshvara, and the Buddha was still in contemplation. And Avalokiteshvara on the other side was also contemplating on how everything's like a dream. There's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to run away from. It's just total relaxation, total ease, like a vast ocean of your reality. Nothing to be afraid of. No basis for fear. And the ease is infinitely expansive. So meanwhile, the Shariputra stood up to ask questions. So in this connection, as we recite the Heart Sutta every day, remember the 3 points, not to miss the 3 points. First, what is the question asked by Shariputra to Avalokiteshvara first? Number 2, what response Avalokiteshvara gave to Shariputra? And number 3, what benefit we get if we practice as taught by Avalokiteshvara in response to the question asked by Shariputra, the 3 points. So with this mind, the first, very quickly, that the Shariputra's question, how do the children of the lineage, how should a child of a lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? So what is meant by child of a lineage? And usually for the retreats, I explain in great detail, but here it's not necessary for the reason that main target audience is NMC1, NMC2. Okay, so how should child of lineage practice the perfection of wisdom? What is meant by child of a lineage? So we consider the king's lineage is very important. Just a small child, age 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is treated as so important for the reason that this child is holding the lineage of the king, which means this child is going to become king eventually. So if this is meaning that each one of us, we can be the holder of the greatest of the most important lineage, that is the lineage of the Buddhas. Each one of us, we have the capacity to become Buddha. But when we become the holder of the lineage, it's not that everybody is holding lineage. The moment we make the commitment that I will become Buddha, so the prince, I will become the king, young prince. So like with each one of us, we make the commitment, I will become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. At that point, you become the lineage holder, the the holder of the greatest of the lineages. So this is very important. As somebody holding the lineage of this Buddha, what should we be doing? We should practice professional wisdom. And how to practice this? This is a question asked, number 1. Number 2, the response given by Avalokiteshvara, that see that everything is like a dream, that your mind is not affected and your mind will manifest its true nature of expansiveness, but this is known as the inherent ease, when cognitive obscurations are removed, and then you experience what is Buddhahood, the full awakening, and then the miracle power, compassion, wisdom, they all just become infinity. So this is what the Avalokiteshvara taught, that we should see everything like a dream, empty of objective reality, see everything like a dream. So this is number 2. Then number 3, what benefit do we get if we learn to see everything like a dream? Then Avalokiteshvara said that by seeing this, all our fears will dissolve. All our fears, the pains, and the stains are rooted to the cognitively erroneous appearance and cognitively erroneous apprehension. In other words, self-grasping ignorance and the subtle stains all will be removed. The moment these are removed, number 1, that you will experience fearlessness. All fears will drop. All the pains of the tears of samsara, painful tears of samsara will stop, number one. Number two, that this understanding of the illusion-like nature, empty of intrinsic reality, this wisdom of emptiness, to realize everything is like a dream, this is the only gateway for all the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future. This is the only entrance through which somebody can become enlightened. This is the only entrance. So these are the 2 points as a benefit for you, which Avalokiteshvara indicated. And then at the end, the Buddha endorsed what Avalokiteshvara they're taught as something so the salient of people, or for all of us, those who aspire to stop the painful tears of samsara, and pain, sometimes the pains are so acute. It's so like there's no escape. If you go in the direction A, there's a problem, and then to avert A, non-A, minus A, again there's a problem. Neutral, there's a problem. Everywhere there's a problem. Total helpless, and sometimes the parents, they see their children in this situation. For example, like the child graduates from, they finish the high school, graduate from high school, and then going into, I want to become medical, I want to do this, and then not getting there. Parents are stressed. Children say, you cannot put like this. So with clear exam, competitive exam, what to do? They're going through so much stress. The whole life is ahead of the child, but always started life with the stress, deep stress. So, and sometimes, and the physical illnesses, mental problems, environmental situations, these are so painful. So like there's no solution. Yes, there's a solution. Just wake up from the sleep of ignorance. We all have the solution. Only things that we need to get this information, this precious knowledge, this precious dharma, this is required. So for this, we're here. So with this mind, this is what Avalokiteshvara taught, and be reminded of us while reciting these 3 points, and then always see that there's always a solution. I have a Buddha nature. There's a solution. Just wake up, and my Buddha nature will feel the absolute, the nature will be manifested, and then all my fears will drop, and my heart will expand with infinity, with full of compassion and wisdom. And then you realize that when you see people going through difficulties, when you see them, you will say, if I am in the shoes of other person, I will go through the same problem, and I'm so lucky. And then your compassion, instead of saying, oh, you're unlucky, instead of that, your compassion will embrace them. Compassion will embrace them. So in whatever capacity that you can be of help to the other person, you're always there for that person. This is the greatness of the Buddha's teachings. Always compassion, never ever giving up on anybody, always ready to embrace anybody who made the greatest of the mistakes. You are there to support and give love and affection based on the wisdom that we experience. Buddha himself, now look, 2,500 years, and still how many billions and trillions of beings have benefited from the Buddha's teachings. So, but once upon a time, many lifetimes ago, the Buddha was as ordinary as what we are today. And the Buddha, many lifetimes ago, was worse than what we are today. But with effort, correct effort, and the correct information, complete information, and systematic information, today he became the fully enlightened one to save all of us. So remembering this, what is that Heart Sutra?
The Heart Sutra, the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on Masa Vulture's mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharidvaitaputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding these five aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so on up to and including no mind element, and no mental conscious element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration, and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since this is not the false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Kityatha Om Gate Gate Para Gate Para Samgate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aryalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that. It is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharidvaitaputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Aryalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the worlds of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels, possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May they be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place. Next page, the 8 verses for the training the mind by Geshe Lamrim. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depth of my heart respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim dedication prayer, verse 1. From my 2 collections, vast as space that I've amassed, from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Page 39, 7-limb practice. Excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you, with body, speech, and sincere mind I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst a host of Bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and the oceans of sound from aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all you Sukhadas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, the victorious one, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, and all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with the strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to you, all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training in those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for ions numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering, and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Short mandala offering. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this is a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. O Sashibu Ki Shu Shime To Tam Ri Ra Pli The four dharmas of Venerable Gamboba. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas.
Let me quickly explain these four. This particularly the second line. What is in Tibetan? What is translated? This is more a literal translation, and the meaning can vary. So only if the meaning is explained, then you realize that okay, it means something different. The first one, may be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. This is so important that in a family or in a community, in a school, wherever you go, we see that some people, the moment some concept of, say, compassion, the understanding, contentment, and so forth explained, they instantly they've connected. And some good advice given, instantly they feel connected. Advice related to your spiritual growth, your mental growth in direction of wisdom and compassion. So this is the meaning of, may I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. So our mind, so with respect to the mundane activities, mundane studies, mundane knowledge, some people, they can easily be drawn towards them. There's nothing wrong in this, but that must be balanced with your mind be directed towards the dharma. So that is so precious. Even a small child, they can easily be directed to the, for example, like I remember this girl, the guy didn't stand up. So she introduced herself to other people that Geshe knows me before I was born. Okay, so what I'm saying is that this girl, remember, when she was just at the moment, now she's 9. You're 9 years old? Okay, so when she was about like 6 or 7, mother comes to take her into school. Then the mother would ask her, where will you go? Then she would say, we go to temple. So she would spend like 2 hours straight there in the temple reading this same book. This is the Blaze with the mother. That is her fun. So these are known as where the mind is directed towards the dharma since childhood. So thank you, Tismula, thank you. So now we have Tismula and this little girl there, Chayala, and then this boy here, Manvik. So 3 of them, they were friends from the kids retreat. And the 3 of them, they complain is that why kids retreat only for 2 days, why not for 8 days? For the elders, it's like 10 days. But for kids, why only 2 days? This is the complaint. Okay, so this is first thing, that mind be directed towards the dharma. And how? For some children, it naturally happens. For some children, because to drive, push, and some they don't feel even connected. So why? It is from the past life efforts. So therefore, each one of us, nobody forced each one of us. You came on your own. You came on your own. These are implanting seeds in the mind to be connected with the dharma in the future lives also. In the future lives, they say something related to dharma, something related to compassion, so forth. Instantly you will feel connected. Instantly you will feel connected. So, and these are the imprints. This is so precious to lay these imprints today. So that is may be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma, number 1. Now you're into dharma. What happens is that, for example, some people who already signed up to come to this retreat, in fact, the first retreat, Dorji retreat we conducted, There was one person who signed up, the moment it was announced, he signed up almost a year in advance. He already signed up. And later, he was the first one to do all the bookings, the airplane, the flight tickets, everything. Tomorrow, we have to fly to the place, and he had to cancel everything. So this is where you meet with the obstacles. So first one is proper path. It has connotation that it should not meet with the obstacles. This is number 2. Dharma meeting, for example, like say, the moment you're about to come to this retreat, again something happened, so you cannot come, you have to call it off. So these are the obstacles. So we should make sure that our dharma, when our mind is into the dharma, it should not meet with the obstacles. Number 2. Obstacles in the form of, something wrong happened, then there's no option but to stay back. So these are the stay back and could not go into continue the dharma. This is number 2. Number 3 is, may I be blessed that the path is free of loss. This is so important. Number 2, the obstacle can be there. Be careful to run away from the obstacles. Number 2. But the third one is very serious, where you don't meet with the obstacles, you're with the, the no illness or no something wrong happening in the family and so forth. So you can issue, and you go into the dharma, for example, like Nalanda studies. So you have been doing it the 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, and people start to see some change in your mindset. Stability is there. Stability is there. You become more composed, not easily affected by external. And it's so inspiring to hear the stories of my friends who joined the Nalanda courses. There's whole transformation taking place in their life, that the family members, once upon a time, they can be very irritable, agitated, easily feeling agitated, angry, short-tempered. And then with this course, then even the family members, they see that the mother is way happier nowadays, very happy. So the moment the mother misses the class, the children or the husband will remind, hey, now is your class. You're not going to attend class. So it's time for your class. And then the children, they're so happy to see that the mother, the dad is very happy nowadays. So this is, and then when you are, the shaping, you're getting some shape in your mindset going forward, and somebody suddenly will say, who's your root guru? You know, all these questions will come. Who's your root guru? What is practice you do? No, we are studying. What is study? And what is the practice? Without practice, you cannot become Buddha, right? What is study? What is the practice? And then they give very strange analogies given by the Buddha. You know, for those people who are crazy at the studies, not at all interested in the practice, then the Buddha gives some examples, metaphors, and these people use these metaphors to discourage others from studying. What are kind of metaphors? If somebody is shot with an arrow, don't ask from where the arrow was shot. What is the quality of the arrow? Don't check, remove the arrow first. So these metaphors are used by the Buddha to teach us that while you go into the studies and so forth, it's very important. Meanwhile, don't neglect your practice. And the other people who don't have studies at all, just sitting like this and think that this will take you to Buddhahood, they will discourage you from study, saying that, what is this? It will not take you to Buddhahood. So, and then these matters are given. So, therefore, the point is that, so the point is that we need to, that when you're in the proper direction, people will come to pull you. Only when you become rich, that then the thieves will come. When you're poor, thieves will not come at all. Even if you force a thief to go to steal something there, what will I get from this room? You know, so they will not break in your house. They will break in your house only when you become rich. So when these people come, oh, what are you doing? What kind of practice are you doing? How long you're doing? And who is your root guru? When these are thieves coming. Thieves coming. So feel happy that maybe you have become rich. You know, feel happy, stay with that. Stay with it, don't deviate. Reach to some level whereby you become very confident that these thieves can be changed. You're getting it? This is very important. They are, because that it says that, may be blessed that the path is free of flaws. You may meet with the people who can take you into the flawed paths very easily. Bodhisattva Shantideva gave the warning. Give the warning that flawed paths are so numerous, so numerous. You can easily be deviated. Some people who can be extremely vocal and they can talk so nicely, and then you can easily be swayed. Even with another, the NMC one, I remember some are so enthusiastic and suddenly disappeared completely. Very sad. Today, and the person regret it later. Regret it. If these people, if they stick to the NMC1 and complete the NMC1, they would have been today shining, really shining. Some are shining today. And in fact, some of them who left, they're better than those who are shining today. Very sad. So that is number 3. May be blessed that the path is free of flaws. Then number 4 is very high level, where you realize emptiness. Where you realize emptiness and you experience the deep experience, you generate a very deep experience of compassion, bodhicitta. Then whatever situation that you meet with, even the flawed paths, you see them like illusion. You're not affected. For example, usually the advice is don't go with the bad companions, because you'll be badly influenced. But when you become very mature to this level of the 4th level, then even if you meet with the wrong companions will be changed rather than you getting changed by the wrong companions. Wrong companions can be changed by you. They will be turned to positive, the correct path. So this is the number 4. May I be blessed that the flaws, even the flaws that I meet with, they are seen in the light of the exalted wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness. Okay.
The 4 dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence.
The first one once more.
Sorry.
Hello, excuse me. Yes.
We'll repeat the previous verse once more. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Gambopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of the exalted wisdom. The 4 dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Menta Lakam Niryatayami. The foundation of all good qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to them is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again, please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the result of the virtuous and non-virtuous karma follows. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear responsibility of fearing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I've classified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme watcher vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows in Samaya. As I am firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and paths. May I quickly attain the state of Vajratara.
Okay, for the maximum verse, first we'll say this in English, followed by the chanting in Tibetan. You are Avalokiteshvara,
great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, the destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of landless knows, Tsongkhapa, at your feet I make prostrations.
You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages that Lama knows, Loseling Tsanpa, at your feet I make prostrations. Okay, Ajit, thank you so much. And so now we will, the main practice followed by taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And is also known as in Tibetan, Tamje Nenjuk Simkyepa. In English, generating the mind of consummate yoga, which consists of 4 parts: shamatha practice, single point meditation, and of course we need to know the reason why we require these 4. The shamatha meditation, then renunciation, bodhicitta, and wisdom of emptiness. So for the shamatha meditation, today I'm going to give a very quick explanation, and I would say that those who are totally new to this, I'm not expecting anybody new, but if there are 1 or 2 who are new, you must take advantage of the seniors, the presence of the seniors, and to please learn from them the details of this. So for the shamatha meditation, it's primarily to build single-pointedness in your the focus of the meditation. For this, the 4 things to keep in mind: number 1, the body posture, and then number 2, the focal point, number 3, identifying the errors of meditation, and number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. First, the body posture, cross-legged if possible. If not, don't worry. Where you sit on the chairs is absolutely permissible. But the backbone should be upright. And those who have backache problem, again, you are exempted. Those who don't have any issue with your back or your body is feeling fine, then the backbone should be upright. Plus that the back should not touch the lean against the support. Don't lean against the support. Just keep it upright like this. And if possible, try to make it a habit. And when you are not meditating, keep your body straight. You can lean against the support, is fine when you're not meditating. But make it a habit. Keep your body straight. And those people who are doing yoga, you know that. But some people, they tend to sit like this all the time. So this is a very wrong position, particularly in the context of meditation. Learn how to sit upright and not meditating. When not meditating, you want to lean against the support, keep the body straight. That's very important. And your head tilted forward a little bit, and eyes not closed, eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down, and just ignore. And then the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate, to avoid excessive accumulation saliva in the mouth, and teeth and the lips in their natural course. Breathe normally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Just let the breath flow very normally. And while your body is upright, make sure that your body is not rigid. It is flexible. And your right hand on the left hand with the 2 thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place 2 hands in your lap in restful state. That is your body posture, also referred to as the Buddha Varicana's posture. Buddha Varicana's posture, this is what it is. And even to mimic, while each one of them, they have their own respective benefits, but to mimic the enlightened, the beings, the Buddha's position, if that itself is a great virtue, that we mimic something good, you become good. So this is the tendency that is multiple benefits, one of which is following the footsteps of the enlightened masters, enlightened beings. Then the focal point. So given that this is more technical class, I would not hesitate to share both. First is visualize a tiny dot, but meanwhile keep in mind that those who have your own personal practice, like the Vipassana, the 10-day Vipassana course and so forth, whatever you have, maintain it, do that, not necessarily switch to something else. Because, okay, now I'm associated with another study, so I'm from this tradition. No, they just go beyond traditions. just think of your well-being, the well-being of other sentient beings. So this should be your tradition, not about this tradition, that tradition, so forth. The idea is that you have to grow. Your compassion should grow. Your happiness should grow, and become a more sensible person somebody who doesn't disturb others, instead create harmony and peace in others. This is the goal. So with this mind, whatever practice that you're doing, as long as it's coming from a genuine the lineage, and as long as it is really, really, really helping you, just maintain it. No need to switch to, again, oh, this is what he's, so now I'll follow his one. No, just whatever is beneficial, do that, maintain it. Okay. Those of us who do not have any specific meditation, for them, I'm sharing this. So, one is to visualize a tiny white dot, maybe like 2 mm or 3 mm in diameter, between nose and upper lip. Just visualize a tiny white dot without eyes closed, eyes just half open, and visualize eyes should not cast on the dot. It should be your mental consciousness which is meditating, not your sense consciousness. So, sense consciousness, eye consciousness, just 4 or 5 cast down and just ignore it. And your mental consciousness must be very active. That must be activated to do the meditation. That should visualize a tiny white dot. And I remember some people the complaining that they cannot really do any kind of visualizations, or how to visualize that is very difficult. Yes, there's a way by which we can do that. And if the junior, please consult the seniors who are here, and they can help you. So tiny white dot between nose and upper lip, and just focus on this, and the simultaneously what we call as a multitasking. Multitasking, that is counting the breath happening together. Visualizing tiny white dot plus counting the breath. Breathe in, breathe out, exhalation, inhalation combined together is one cycle. Again, breathe in, breathe out, cycle 2. This is what we do for like, say, 21 times or 5 minutes. 5 minutes is going to be like 60 cycles for the young ones. For the young ones, it's going to be like 60 or 55, 60, 70 cycles. For the elders, it can be like 80, 90 cycles. In some cases, it can even go beyond 100. So this is not a problem. With the age, you see the difference. And these two things should happen together. And then, yes, NMC1, NMC2, I know that you will come with all these debates which you find in Acharya Chandrakirti's texts about the whether or not these two minds will happen together, visualizing the white dot and the count of the breath. These two things will they happen together? This is a question. So we talk about the conventional truth, for example, like let's say that I am hitting myself. I'm hitting myself. This is conventional truth. I'm hitting myself. But what hits is my hand, what is hit is my chest. These two are not the same. You're getting it? So conventionally, we say that I'm hitting myself. But when you go to deeper analysis, we see that what hits and what is hit, these two are different. These two are different. Likewise, say the mind which counts the breath, and mind which visualizes the tiny dot, these two are different. But they're too fast, so fast. You can train in such a way that they're so fast, and as well, the two things happen together. They're so fast. They're so fast. As well, like, for example, what is the old time, the movies. Movies, they're just like with the one action, it says that there are like 24 pieces of films. They're all static films. They are not movement in the film. Nothing's moving in the film. But you look at it, you see that person's moving, they're lifting the cup, drinking. You see these things happening. It's all illusion. We get a feeling that it's moving. In actuality, there's no movement there. Just 24 segments of the pieces, 24 pieces of the films are there. When they are moved in a certain speed, then you see that there's a movement taking place. So this is exactly what's happening. In actuality, it's very true that one mind cannot really go after the visualization of white dot and count on the breath. But it's not just one mind, two minds move so fast, move like this. the swap happening between the two objects. Okay, so this is a little bit of clarification. And then the number 3, identify the errors of meditation. Errors, they are twofold, primarily twofold: mental excitement and mental laxity. Mental excitement is the overactivity of the mind, and the laxity is the inactivity of the mind. These two are the two problems. So meanwhile, so shamatha practice is primarily to stop the reactivity of the mind. Shamatha meditation is primarily to stop the reactivity of the mind. People are so reactive, impulsively reactive, to stop it. And then the special insight meditation. Special insight meditation is primarily to increase the proactivity. You getting it? So sometimes if you just focus on the shamatha meditation related, any kind of meditation related to stabilizing your mind, like observing the breath, or observing sensations, or the Buddha image, or whatever you're doing, if you just focus on that part all the time, your mind will learn how to settle, will stop the reactivity, but the proactivity can also be compromised. So our mind, particularly from the Bodhisattva path, where your mind has to still, should be able to still it. The mind should listen to you to keep it stay stilled. Whereas if you have to move, you ask the mind to move, the mind should be able to move so fast. This is known as proactivity. So some practices, they discourage you to, they encourage you to stop the reactivity. They don't encourage you to increase the proactivity. So the danger is that there's one young man, I think like about 5-6 years ago, in a retreat. One young man was there, just 23 years old. And I was so impressed that he just all alone these 8-day retreat, he was so calm and composed. And when I asked some questions to class, his answers are very sensible. And later in one of the meeting, he said that I've been practicing the Vipassana meditation for 3 years. I'm not surprised. So good. I'm so impressed. Then he shared with me one experience. He shared that what you said in the class is very true. What did I say? So he said that in my meditation, before I joined this course, my mind was so hyper. My mind is so restless in nature. Well, with this meditation, after taking these courses, 10-day retreat, and he has been practicing this for I think 2 or 3 years, successively, continuously. Then gradually the hyper restlessness, it subsided. He became very calm. Oh, you can see him, very calm, amazing. He said that, now I noticed something else. That is, that it is very good. My mind is so calm, peaceful, composed. But earlier I used to be very, I would say, sensitive or easily be activated, triggered with some stimulus. Now that is gone. For example, there's some urgent thing, somebody bangs the door, your mind is still very calm. And there's a fire there, still your mind is very calm. He said it. A sense of urgency, disappeared. I said, I'm so glad you said it. You said it. So you succeeded in removing your reactivity. You never learned the proactivity. You never learn proactivity. Your mind is not trained for the proactivity. Where, say, some people are dancing, music, loud music, chaos, noise there, but your mind is not pulled by others. This is stopping the reactivity. Emergency is there, this is proactivity is required. So particularly the Bodhisattva path, you are encouraged to go for both. Reactivity should be stopped, proactivity must be encouraged, not compromised, but actively encouraged for the proactivity. So these two trainings are given. So you will see, if you read Lama Tsongkhapa's the short compositions, there he gave very beautiful metaphors. How do you train your mind? You should make your mind to listen to you. This is the meditation. Make your mind listen to you, not that you listen to your mind. Make the mind follow you, not that you follow the mind. So how? When you want your mind to set, the mind should listen to you, be very obedient you, set, not be deviated even by the loud noise, chaos, just set. When your mind should move into emptiness, so fast, and come, so fast come, in just split of a second. I think if I'm not wrong, with the span of 13 milliseconds. 13 millisecond is 1 second divided into 1,000. 1,000, and so these pieces, 1,000th of a second into 13 milliseconds. In that duration, you are expected to go into to practice 173 topics. 173 topics without altering the sequence, and so fast. And come out so fast. This is a kind of training. So that you succeed when you reach the 7th bhumi. This is what is expected for us to train in. So there's a proactive, it's tremendous proactivity is to be practiced, because you have to become Buddha, to know all phenomena simultaneously. For example, how the electrons, they move so fast. You have to see every, you have to flow with the atoms, electrons, protons. Where the, say, time, say like the 15 billion years since the Big Bang, your mind should flow with this ease to see the 15 billion years, not being affected by, oh, I don't see this. And then in the minute details, you have to see that. Minute and the macro, both should be seen. And slow, fast, both should be seen. This is when you become Buddha. So for that, we require these two trainings. Okay, so with this mind, okay, the organizers say till 8 or till 7:30. Okay, 7:30. So then what we do is that we'll do 5 minutes of the shamatha meditation. 5 minutes. Okay, ready? Okay, let us turn to page 49. Page 49. Short form of taking the aspiration bodhisattva, shorter version of taking the aspiration bodhisattva vow. Page 49. Okay, just visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened masters in front of us. Like my teacher Venerable Geshe Rinpoche, who is with us here in the monastery, my teacher Venerable Geshe Wanji Rinpoche, who passed away, my teacher Venerable Geshe Gyaltsen Jimba Rinpoche, and my teacher Venerable Geshe Ishtabgye Rinpoche, and all the teachers, all who have been serving the Buddha Dharma. Just visualize them as so loving, caring, embracing. And your two parents, all beings are with you, and imagine that you are leading this practice, and all beings are joining us in taking the aspiration bodhisattva vow. So with this mind, let us read these verses together, wholeheartedly by contemplating meaning. I go for refuge to the tubal gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolve becomes the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and for all sentient beings to be my guests, and shall engage in the delightful and excellent practice of full enlightenment, may I become Buddha to all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the tubal gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to distill the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and while all sentient beings to be my guest, and shall engage in the delightful and excellent practice of full enlightenment, may I become Buddha to all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the tubal gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Supreme Sangha. I generate the mind of bodhicitta to resolve the aims of others myself. Having generated the mind of supreme enlightenment, and while all sentient beings to be my guests, and shall engage in the excellent practice of full enlightenment, may I become Buddha to all sentient beings. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and Lama shall too successful train in the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and Lama shall too successful train in the bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall too successfully dwell in the bodhisattva practices. Okay, dedication part, which is on page 55. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful, generous, Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things they are. Also, I dedicate all these rules of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, and so that I might perform noble Bodhisattva's deeds. I dedicate the merits thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. Having dispelled all in and out obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and national disasters, to the environmental degradation, may all beings forever enjoy the glory of peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. May I spend day and night carefully reflecting by what means can I enhance this teaching, achieve the Supreme Savior through strenuous effort over countless eons. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all. Toge tuje shage riso chon shenge meto dege bonjamba serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye yebo kyola cha selo mone mone mahamona yeswa Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mone Mahamona Yeswa. Three processions together.